In 1952, Disney launched a full-blown Halloween blitz around Trick or Treat, a surprisingly ambitious mini-musical packed with top-tier talent, clever tricks, and just the right amount of Donald Duck mischief. Hi, I'm Dennis, and this is West of Neverland. If you love classic Disney animation history and behind-the-scenes secrets, then this is the place for you. With Halloween just around the corner, I could fill hours talking about spooky Disney shorts. The Mad Doctor, Pluto's Judgment Day, The Gorilla Mystery, Donald and the Gorilla, The Flying Mouse. You're nothing but a nothing. You're not a thing at all. The list goes on, but don't worry, I'm planning to do this for a long time, so there will be plenty of Halloween seasons ahead to explore the rest of these. But for today, we're taking a closer look at one of Disney's most overtly Halloween-themed cartoons, 1952's Trick or Treat. Let's get started. Trick or Treat wasn't just a typical Donald Duck short. Released on October 10th, 1952, it was promoted more like a seasonal special than a routine, spooky theatrical cartoon. And behind the push was director Jack Hanna, nicknamed the Other Duck Man for his long tenure directing Donald's cartoons during the post-war years. With Halloween as its backdrop, the short follows Donald as he plays cruel tricks on his nephews, refusing to give them any candy. Enter Witch Hazel.
Oh, bless their little black hearts.
A good witch with a short fuse and a bag full of magical gags. What follows is a Halloween night revenge story told with slapstick sorcery and one unforgettable tune.
Oh, I don't believe it.
Trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat for Halloween.
That tune, also titled Trick or Treat, was the heartbeat of the short. It wasn't just part of the cartoon, it became an anchor for a broader campaign that included a hit children's record and even a comic book by Carl Barks, the original Duckman. More on him later. For a Halloween short, Trick or Treat had a surprisingly big footprint. While Trick or Treat was packed with Halloween fun, its success rested on a small cast of multi-talented performers and some first-rate music. Clarence Nash once again voiced Donald Duck, just as he had since the 1930s. But he also performed all three of Donald's nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Opposite him was legendary voice actress June Foray as Witch Hazel, one of her few roles for Disney.
Oh, bless their little black hearts.
Foray would go on to voice Rocky the Flying Squirrel in Rocky and Bullwinkle.
It's been swell knowing you, Bullwinkle.
It has, hasn't it?
Well, let's not say anything more about the terrible fix we're in. Let's talk about something else.
Anything you say, Rock.
Sure is cold, isn't it?
Yeah, looks like an early fall.
Bullwinkle!
Granny in the Looney Tunes cartoons.
Oh, and here's one for me. Ooh! A rubber mouse. Oh, this must be Sylvester's. Oh, Sylvester, there must be some mistake with...
And later would come back to Disney for Grandmother Fa in Mulan.
How lucky can they be? They're dead. Besides, I've got all the luck we'll need.
In fact, just a few years later, Foray would also voice Warner Brothers' own version of Witch Hazel, starting with Broomstick Bunny in 1956.
I'm so deathly afraid of getting pretty as I grow older. Pretty?
A role she'd continue to play until 2002. The name Witch Hazel wasn't copyrightable, since it was also the name of a medicinal plant. That's why both Disney and Warner Brothers could feature different versions of the character with the same name, with Foray providing the voice for both. And while Beelzebub never speaks, the noise he makes
Whoa, Beelzebub, whoa!
came courtesy of James McDonald, Disney's in-house sound effects wizard. McDonald had already provided barks for Pluto, the voices of Jock, Gus, and Bruno in Cinderella,
Bruno!
And later, the slow-witted grunts of Humphrey the Bear.
Oh, thank you.
He would even add, in the 1970s, the growls for Elliot and Pete's Dragon, a personal favorite of mine. The short's title tune, Trick or Treat for Halloween, was written by Mac David, Al Hoffman, and Jerry Livingston, songwriters who also contributed to other Disney features like Cinderella and Alice in Wonderland.
Salagadoola, menchikaboola, bibbidi bobbidi boo.
A very merry birthday
To me?
to you.
It was performed by the vocal quartet The Mellowmen with Thurl Ravenscroft, yes, the voice of Tony the Tiger,
See pretty good.
Good, there, cool.
and your main one, Mr. Grinch, from How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
He lent his deep bass to the jack-o'-lantern. The score was composed by Paul Smith, a longtime composer for Disney who worked on projects like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Pinocchio,
When you wish upon a star.
and many of Disney's cartoon shorts. The animation team included Disney veterans like Bill Justice, Volus Jones, Don Lusk, and George Kreisel, with effects by Dan McManus and backgrounds by Yale Gracie. Director Jack Hanna later said, "I enjoyed directing Trick or Treat because I got a chance to work with a different personality, June Foray, who did such a great job as the voice of the witch. Together, this talented team gave Trick or Treat its charm, energy, and just the right amount of Halloween spirit." If you're enjoying this deep dive into Disney's Halloween history, give this video a like and please consider subscribing. I've got plenty more behind-the-scenes stories coming your way, so don't miss out. And for a little background on Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Ted Osborne and Al Taliaferro had been writing and drawing a run of Donald Duck stories in the Silly Symphonies comic strip series. Donald had adventures with Mickey's nephews for a while, but Taliaferro suggested that Donald be given nephews of his own. So in October 1937, Donald's nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, debuted in the comics. About 6 months later, they made their theatrical entrance in the cartoon short Donald's Nephews on April 15, 1938. Trick or Treat was the 19th short featuring Donald Duck's nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and after this one, there would only be 3 more. Don's Fountain of Youth in 1953,
What's the matter with you, Donald? Yeah, boo.
Canvasback Duck, also in 1953,
What a guy's yellow.
Yes, Dad. I am too. Let's go home.
and Spare the Rod in 1954.
Avast there, you swabs. What guard, you pilgrims?
Disney didn't just release Trick or Treat, they turned it into a Halloween event. In an early example of cross-promotion, the short was paired with a children's record that retold the story through narration and music.
Hello, this is Hazel, Witch Hazel, and I have a story for you.
Clarence Nash returned as Donald and the nephews.
Louie? That's me. Dewey? That's me. And Huey? That's me.
June Foray reprised her role as Witch Hazel, and the release even came with punch-out paper puppets so the kids could act out the cartoon at home. It was an early glimpse of how Disney was beginning to think beyond the screen. That same strategy extended to comic book stands. Carl Barks, the legendary Donald Duck comic artist, was asked to adapt the short into a 32-page comic, but he never saw the film. Working only from storyboards, Barks had to imagine the tone and visuals himself, and with only 7 minutes of original material, he had to expand the story. Barks added new scenes, including a subplot where the nephews steal hairs from a goat for one of Hazel's potions, a moment where Hazel disguises herself as a glamorous duck to lure candy away from Donald, and finally featuring her pet ogre, Smorgasbord. Unfortunately, most of these didn't make it into print. The publisher removed Barks's extra material, cut the comic's length, and didn't pay him for the pages that they'd cut. It was a frustrating moment for Barks, and one of his final Donald Duck stories before he shifted his focus almost entirely to Uncle Scrooge. At its core, Trick or Treat is a simple Halloween revenge story. The short opens with Huey, Dewey, and Louie out trick-or-treating, only to have Donald fill their bags with fireworks and dump water on their heads. It's classic Donald, mean-spirited, stubborn, and proud of it. But his plan backfires when Witch Hazel, riding on her broom, sees how the boys were treated and decides to help them get even.
I saw the whole thing, kids. Down, Beelzy Bob, down, please. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, a real witch.
Oh, joy! Thou do believeth in witches.
What follows is a comic duel between Hazel's magic and Donald's defenses. She conjures spells from her bubbling cauldron as she channels witches from Shakespeare's Macbeth.
Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. This is the real thing, you know, right out of Shakespeare.
And terrorizes Donald in and around his home.
Your little white house turns green. Your little white house turns green.
Convincing him to hand over the goods. That is, until she insults him.
Kids, this pigeon's a pushover.
And his pride takes over and he shuts up the pantry. Hazel then enchants his feet in a chain of attempts to get the key and ultimately breaks into his pantry with brute force. His head.
I thought he listened to reason.
Hazel gets the boys their treats and Donald gets exactly what he deserves. Trick or Treat premiered on October 10th, 1952, just in time for Halloween, and early reactions were positive. A brief review in the Exhibitor magazine dated October 8th summarized it like this: "It's Halloween, and Donald's nephews, with the help of a sympathetic witch and her magic potion, give him the treatment until he finally comes through with the treat. Good." While short and to the point, that good came from a trade magazine that evaluated cartoons with quick assessments for theater owners. This short delivered. The Trick or Treat theme song found success outside the theater as well. On November 5th, 1952, Variety included it in their top 30 songs list, an unusual feat for a song found in a cartoon short. Combined with the record and the comic book release, it showed how far Disney was already thinking in terms of cross-platform promotion. As for Witch Hazel, she didn't vanish after 1952. The character reappeared in Disney comics, often in Halloween-themed stories. And just recently, in 2023, she returned in the stop-motion Halloween special, Mickey and Friends, Trick or Treats, on the Disney Channel. Once again, Hazel creates spooky chaos by turning Mickey and his friends into their Halloween costumes.
Monster!
Oh, crackers!
Happy Halloween and good riddance.
Leaving them until midnight to find the ingredients of the magical antidote. This stop-motion special was a unusual but welcome animation style for Disney. It created a charming little special that I think should gain more attention. It really is a fun watch, and hopefully they'll make more handmade animations like this. Trick or Treat is the perfect example of how even a 7-minute cartoon can leave a lasting impression. From its catchy theme song and clever animation to its pioneering cross-media rollout, it gave Halloween something genuinely magical and introduced audiences to one of Disney's most memorable witches. So how does Trick or Treat stack up among all of the other spooky Disney Halloween shorts? Leave a comment and let me know what you think about this one or what your favorite is. I'd love to hear from you. And if you want more spooky Disney deep dives, I put together a playlist with my deep dives from the last few weeks of The Skeleton Dance, Ichabod from The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and The Lonesome Ghosts. Click here to keep the Halloween vibes going, and I'll see you real soon.